Welcome in, Falcons fans, to our Mailbag edition of Falcons Today Live. At the time of this recording, we are live at Tuesday at about 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, answering your questions about the Dirty Birds heading into Week 1. Let's, of course, start with our friend, Mr. Pierce Clark. Gotta love that little Fortnite banana logo there. Do you think it was the right decision going back in the first round to get James Pearce? At the time, I didn't quite understand it because I thought you just drafted Jalen Walker. Then to get rid of your first round for next year, to jump back into the first and draft James Pearce Jr., I just, at the time, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then the more and more that I saw James Pearce Jr. play, and the more and more what I read about his skill sets, and then watching him in the preseason, the more and more I understood why the Falcons moved back up. This kid has the ability to be the next great pass rusher. He's got all of the tangibles that you want. It's just going to come down to how quickly does he acclimate to the NFL game. He's got the speed. He's got the size. He's got the power. He's got the agility. He's got everything you want. He is your stereotypical prototype NFL edge rusher. And I think that's exactly why the Falcons moved back up. They couldn't take the chance at somebody else drafting this guy. And he plays differently than what Jalen Walker does. So that's why now I believe, and I'll happily admit I was wrong. I now understand why they moved back in to draft James Pearce Jr. Appreciate it, Pierce. Lav, what receiver do you think will be Penix's primary red zone target this year? Receiver? Drake London. But if I had to give my second opinion, Ray. And I say Ray because you can do so much with him. You can move him outside wide. You can move him into the slot. There are so many different abilities and opportunities for Ray to get involved in a multitude of different packages. Plus, he's coming off of the most receiving yards he's ever had in an entire season. So Ray McLeod, I think, has the opportunity to now showcase his ability, find the end zone more than once than he did last year, and 4 or 5 touchdowns, 750 to 800 yards receiving. Who says no? So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be Drake, but Ray is a solid number 2. Dat one Falcons fan. Who gets the first sack, interception, and touchdown of the season? All right, so let's go in order here. First sack, Jalen Walker. He's more NFL ready week 1, more stereotypical, like understands bull rush, understands setting the edge, stops the run, does well against the pass. I think it's Jalen Walker. Interception, go A.J. Terrell. I want to say Billy Bowman, but I'm going to say A.J. Terrell, best corner on the team. First touchdown of the season, Bijan. It's going to be Bijan Robinson. I could easily see week 1 against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bijan breaking like a 45-yard scamper and just taking it to the house. So give me that in that order. Walker, Terrell, Bijan. Thanks, that one Falcons fan, for getting in on the show. Pedro, what are realistic expectations for Ruke Orhorhoro? Row your boat. I think a solidified defensive lineman. And I'll explain a little bit here. Last year, Ruke only appeared in 8 games. So it was hard to kind of know what he was without a larger sample size. I would like him to be more of an anchor. I think he and Brandon Dorlus have the opportunity right now to kind of set that interior defensive pressure and kind of lock up that run-stopping game. I don't need Ruke to go after the quarterback nearly as much. I kind of want him to be the anchor of that defensive line. He and Brandon Dorlus can definitely do that. So if I'm looking at a realistic expectation for him, I would like to see him at least 8 tackles for loss. That would be kind of like my baseline. Anything more would be gravy. But 8 tackles for loss is what I'm kind of looking for here. And maybe some good pass rush win rate. Maybe that number gets a little bit higher than it was last year as well. Appreciate you, Pedro, getting in on the show. Now, before we get into some more questions here from Falcons fans, by Falcons fans, I have to tell you about our friends over at PrizePicks. is the best place to get real money sports action all season long. Just pick 2 to 6 players, their stat projections, pick the more or the less, and ride it on in. It is the best way to win real money sports action all season long. Like I said, join millions of players today and sign up. How does it work? Like this. Pick the player, the more or less, watch it multiply, send it in, and just let the cash flow, my friends. Little money manziel for you. So download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. I'll have all of that ready for you in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks. Run your game. Peak. Cool name. Falcons. Do you think Bijan has a chance to win NFC Offensive Player of the Year? I'll do you one better. He's going to be in high contention for MVP. Bijan Robinson almost had 2,000 scrimmage yards last year, 15 total touchdowns. He's one of the best running backs, one of the best players in the NFL. He's got a legitimate shot to do what Saquon Barkley did last year. Bijan, Saquon, you see, that's why you have that long J sound. But my point remains. Bijan Robinson is an absolute stud. I think you're looking at the emergence of, if he continues this reign, you could be talking about Hall of Famer. You really can. This guy is incredible. And I can't wait to watch what he does in 2025, because I think what you're going to look at is one of those MVP-type seasons. JDDC, do you see Clark Phillips playing any kind of significant role on this defense? I have a feeling he could break out. You know, it's funny. I originally thought that, because I had made a video a couple weeks ago that listed him as a cut candidate because of his injury. And I was like, you haven't seen him all offseason long. And Falcons fans were like, no, they're not going to cut him. And they didn't. I just don't know how much of a rotation he gets in on this team. Natrone Brooks has been a player that has stood out this entire camp. Had a good preseason. Granted, he's not a very good tackler. But I also think that there are so many opportunities now for these other guys. Hell, D. Alford's going to try and show something. He's already lost his nickel cornerback spot to Billy Bowman. So let's be honest. He's not going to take Terrell's job. And the only way I could see him getting on the field is if Mike Hughes struggles. So no, I don't really see him as a breakout role. But what I do see is, if he does come in with a little extra secret sauce, it's going to be as a rotational piece over the likes of a guy like D. Alford. We do have a super chat to get to. EHYGO. What is MP9 throws for 5K yards? So I'm assuming it means what if MP9 throws for 5K. Okay. Not high, considering how many quarterbacks have thrown for 5,000 yards in their, like, no. Let's get to 4,000 first. Let's get to 4,000 and then work our way up from there. I actually had, if I went back and looked at my Michael Penix Jr. predictions, I think I had him just under 4,000 yards. It's like 3,870 something or 3,900, something like that. It's close. But let's get to 4K before we get to 5K. But I appreciate your super chat, my friend. Thank you so much for getting in on the show. Last one, we'll end it how we started it. Pierce, do you think there is a possibility to trade Allgeier? I don't want to. It's the thunder to Bijan's lightning. I feel like Falcons fans know this. He is so much better than people give him credit for. He's one of the best number 2s in the league. This Falcons run, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, I will say this, hypothetically speaking, to kind of play along with what you're saying. If there's like an offer that you can't refuse, if there's like a 3rd round pick and a player, you take it. You got to take it, or at least explore the opportunity. But unless the offer is like so good and someone's so desperate for a running back, keep it the exact same way. You're going to need someone on 3rd and short to bully their way forward and get those first downs, or at the goal line, bully their way into the end zone. I really think if it's not broke, don't fix it, don't trade. But again, anything is possible if the price is right. That is going to do it for us on today's Mailbag episode. A reminder to like the video if you haven't.